Welcome, busy gamers. Today we're going to be looking at Against the Storm. If you're already familiar with my first look series, feel free to go ahead and skip straight to the gameplay or the discussion section. If you're looking for my full review, of course, I'm going to be putting it in the end card and the show notes as soon as it's posted. So, what's a first look? For me, those first few minutes of a game are crucial. They set a tone and they determine if a game is going to really grab me. So for this series, I'm going to be bringing you along as I first step foot into a game. I'll put a timer up and I'll play for just 30 minutes, and as I play, I'll give you my live thoughts and reactions before I give a short summary at the end. So, Against the Storm was developed by Eremite Games and it was published by Hooded Horse. It released in early access November of 2022, and it's received continuous updates and communication by the developer since. This dark fantasy city builder definitely has me pretty curious. They've stated it will remain in early access for about 6 to 8 months, and they've put up a comprehensive roadmap for that time, which again I will link in the show notes. In Against the Storm, you take the role of the Viceroy, the leader charged by the Scorched Queen to gather lost riches and reclaim post-apocalyptic wilderness that was created by the Blightstorm. Unlike a lot of city builders, this one plays more like a combination city builder and full-on civilization game, where you're going to be building a large network of settlements in order to survive and hopefully thrive in both the storm and avoiding the wrath of your queen. Unfortunately, the Blightstorm has left the wilderness a very dangerous place. If you fail, you will have lost this battle. But of course, you won't have lost the war, as Against the Storm puts a roguelike spin on the city and civ builder genre. Your resources, your upgrades, and your experience are going to be following you from game to game. Alright, off we go. We will now be getting a little bit of some flavor, some stories, some things of that nature. I really like the art style that we're seeing right now. It's describing what the Blightstorm is and how we're getting a city destroyed here.
Sent into the wilds, tasked with establishing new settlements and acquiring valuable resources for the crown. Your goal is to help rebuild the smoldering city and secure the...
Okay, so our goal is going to be to rebuild. There is a little bit of story here, but that was short and sweet. That didn't really, take a lot of time. We can use WASD to move the camera. That is pretty standard. That seems good. Neglecting your village will increase Queen's impatience and bring her wrath. Okay, that seems somewhat reasonable. Neglecting your people should get your wrath. Fulfilling your duties will increase the town's reputation, unlock new buildings, and eventually bring you victory. Okay, also seems good. Choose a new blueprint. Select on the crown icon. Woodcutters camp. Starting point for woodcutters going out into the wild to cut down trees. Basic acquisition starts with only a few blueprints. More will be given to you as you gain reputation. Okay. Press space to resume. Queen's Envoy. Build a woodcutter's camp and explore the forest. You have to keep the fire going at all times. Okay. I'd like to pause while I get some of this stuff set up. Starting point for woodcutters going out into the wild. That requires some form of resource. There are some resources up at the top here, so eggs, meat, vegetables, roots. It's all kind of food stuff. And then building materials. Okay, so that's parts. And then flame is going to be coal, simple tools, and wood. Okay, that's interesting. Over here we've got broccoli patches, which is going to be some kind of food. We've got flax field for making cloth. And then we can just kind of look around. And then we have the smoky areas, as well as a smoky area with a danger threat. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So we will find the woodcutter's camp. We will select it. Okay, so that arrow, I assume, needs free access. So let's just go ahead and kind of settle here with the woodcutter's camp. That looks like that'll give me access to opening these glades in the future. We'll read our winning and losing. You build not one but many settlements to successfully establish a town, and therefore win a run you need to collect enough reputation to fill the entire reputation bar. It's important to do this before Queen reaches her impatience level. Queen loses her patience, you just lose. You lose if all your villagers leave or die. Okay. Alright, let's get back going. Let's see who comes out to build this. And we now have a group of beavers coming, as well as some reinforced axes, so woodcutting being easier. Woodcutter camp production is 40% quicker as a resource. And it looks like we need 2 woodcutters camps to do that. So maybe we should go ahead and build another one. That one reached those glades. So let's rotate this one around. And let's have this one go to these 2 or 3. Seems good. Alright, now we have workers and a specialization bonus. Interesting, you can move these as well. So we have beavers, which I would assume are good at things, but it doesn't really tell me. Let's just assign a beaver here. 2 beavers here. Can I select exactly where they're going to cut? That's the question. It says they're gathering. This worker has 10% chance of doubling their yield. Seems good. Now, can I select where they're going, or are they just going to kind of randomly do it around here? Is the question. Decorations. Mark trees for harvesting. Okay. Okay, so I can indeed do that. Let's just try to go into that glade and then into this glade. So we'll kind of do a here and here. And then this side we'll mark here, here, and then last here, I suppose. Too many trees. Okay, so let's go to the other woodcutters camp. Give a beaver there. I don't know why, but we're just assuming that beavers cut down trees well. Does it tell me somewhere? Beavers are hardworking and honest, but also quite demanding. They're gifted woodworkers and enjoy engineering, so maybe not. Resilient and distrustful, good with animals and meat production. Prefer to work in warm environments, so they probably want to be around the fire. Humans, adaptable, susceptible to the rain. Are adept at farming and like brewing. That all sounds very human. Okay. Order's ready to complete. Okay, so we can kind of come up here. 2 and 22 out of 10. Let's deliver. And now we have exploring the wilds as our next goal. Cut through the forest to discover 2 glades. Assign 5 beavers as woodcutters. So we got beavers on the last one. So let's swap out that human for a beaver and that human for a beaver because we have more trees up at this top area. Definitely seems like we should do that. Let's see if we can kind of assign a couple more trees now. And we definitely can. And then we could remove trees from that. Select a building or deposit to destroy. Are there other camps? Should we make another woodworkers camp right now? Exploration is essential. Marking too many trees can slow you down. Okay. So should I say that for now we don't care about these trees? And you can just get me to those 2 glades. And then over here you can just get me to one glade. Let's go with that. Honestly, let's just do 1 and 1. And we'll go away with it. Choose a blueprint. Okay. Your renown grows. You can now choose from one of the available blueprints that the queen offers you. So we're getting new blueprints here. I'm back towards the center of frame. I'm tending to lean to the left there too much. A shelter can accommodate any villager, but won't satisfy the need for species-specific housing. Has to be built near a hearth. Can house 3 residents. Okay. This is my main warehouse and just stores things. This is my hearth. And I would assume that anywhere in this area is warm. Nothing can be sacrificed to it. It can burn all these things. And it looks like I can check or uncheck them, which I assume would let me do different things. Exploration. While you're surrounded by forest, there are smaller and bigger glades around to establish successful settlement. Cut through them. Glades contain resources, treasures, and fertile soil. Let me see. Best rewards come from dangerous glades. So that area that had kind of a skull over here is dangerous glade. And that's interesting. We have a shelter now. Can accommodate any villager. Talked about that already. So let's just kind of set it up. It doesn't look like it needs anything specific, which is odd. So we'll build 2 of them for now. Keeps them near the hearth. We can probably move them over just a little bit later. And what else do we have? We have 1 more beaver. And this do not. I wonder if I should go ahead and put a 3rd woodworking station over there. So right now, that area is looking just a tiny bit cramped. Let's remove one of these guys. And then we'll end up putting both beavers in that one. So this is now open. We've got into that. So we'll close that out and we'll tell them to go here. Opening up that one. Haven't made it here yet. So we're good there. And then this one, let's go ahead and get 2 people assigned to it. I'm gonna do both beavers again. I'm not really sure what to think right now. It's giving me a lot to do, but not necessarily a lot to think about. So, I mean, I am just kind of executing the root tasks that it's asking me to do. We have 1 of 2 glades open. We have six beavers. At this stage, I think we're just kind of waiting, so we're going to go ahead and speed it up a bit, letting them really get to cutting. We kind of see some of these other monitoring things. We've got crafting resources going up, fuel and exploration going up, and we have food going down. We're not generating any food. That does seem concerning, but not necessarily problematic right now. I don't know what these... I assume even these bottom numbers are the resolve. Yep. Okay, those are staying the same. All of them are staying the same. So nobody is getting happier or gaining resolve at this stage. It looks like we have successfully opened a second clearing, which is this one. So even though it doesn't look like it, we have opened it. Let's go back to normal speed here. It's an herbalist camp. It was destroyed by the storm and it can be rebuilt or salvaged. So I feel like I would like to rebuild it, but I don't know if anybody would be warm enough going there. Let's see if we can assign a human or 2 as well. So we'll assign 2 humans to that, and we'll see what they can do. It says they're idling. Now it says that one is doing something specific. Let's investigate. Okay, so when I say investigate, it looks like they're going to go out and actually do something. Investigating to rebuild. Alright, we should go ahead and complete our orders. Our orders here will be delivered. And our next thing is to create a forager's camp, as well as forage vegetables. Okay. This looks like my main area with vegetables, though this has 70 charges of dewberry, which are all gathered via their herbalist's camp. So it looks like we're should be on the right track to do that, though it doesn't look like anything's really happening here. It says they're resting by the fire. So I don't understand. Maybe it is being rebuilt by this particular individual, and these people being assigned to it aren't necessarily doing anything except for investigating around the fire. So we'll just go ahead and leave that alone for now We'll see what glade events say they do. And I can't tell if it plays out in the background as I bring up a menu. Glade events are objects found in the forest, like abandoned caches, survivor camps, ruins, wild beasts, etc. Some positive and some negative. When you select a glade event, a panel will show. You'll be able to find different sections. Okay. Looks like we have identified this one as well. This primarily just has some vegetables in it. So let's go ahead and see. Let's get these done now for this particular one. And here we might want to go ahead and just take a few of those to unlock more glades space for camp. And here I still like what we're doing. And we'll put that one in there as well. As a general rule, it looks like we're good. Choose a blueprint. So that isn't quite the level of ping that I would like, because I did kind of miss that. Newcomers are waiting. Okay, so up here, newcomers. Okay. People have been sent here by the crown. What group do you want to stay? The others will continue on to the next settlement. Okay. So I can have 2 humans, or 1 beaver and 1 lizard with some grain. 2 humans seems better just because we have a wider variety of some things. Let's go ahead and just accept them. And then see what we can do here. Got new camps to build. Now we can do a forager's camp. This particular forager's camp looks like we can get everything we need. So we will get some forager's camps going. It looks like it has its own storage, so we don't necessarily need that here next to it. And then here we have some roots, which can be gathered by a forager's camp. But this one won't reach it. It's only going to reach those. We can move them though, and it does look like they can be moved for free. So maybe that is not an issue. My lizards are getting sadder. So that's interesting. What have I done to upset the lizards? Let's get a couple of humans working down here. And they'll be able to work that whole glade, which is nice. Everything we've found down here is just available to me. Not quite sure what they'll do yet. This just appears to be food to me. Same thing here. So we're just basically able to feed these people. Whatever I did improve where the lizards are again. We're going to be stable at 4. And then let's get some humans foraging. They are now good to go. Now I just need to wait for them to gather 5 villagers, or not 5 villagers, cornerstone. No one can weather the storm alone. Queen offers you a cornerstone that will lay the foundation for your town's prosperity. Okay, choose wisely as you won't be able to change it. Carpenter's tools. Production is faster. Okay. Rural Academy wants detailed map of the region. Supply anyone willing to help. 20 food and 20 clay for each discovered glade. We're about to discover a few more glades. Let's just pick that. And we've got 1, 2, 3 on the discovery track right now. That feels reasonable to me. And these guys are just kind of gathering carte blanche, which is actually also fine with me. I don't have anything specific they need to be doing. They're just getting me more food to keep the fire going. Seems fine. Yeah, we're about to have another new glade. It looks like we did get one here. I don't know if we got that benefit fast enough. We have +1 to vegetable production now. Gathering, farming, or production. So I didn't realize we could just produce it. I assumed it would only work through gathering, but maybe there's a farm or something of that nature. We'll deliver that. And our next one is to have a stonecutter's camp and to make clay. Okay. Were lizards good at that? We forget. Animals and meat production. So not specifically. Stonecutter's camp is going to need to go down in this general area. Hopefully we can do so without a lot of issue. We'll just place that right here. Actually, see if we can rotate it. Place it that way. And then we will go ahead and get our stonecutter's camp. Make our stonecutter's camp. There we go. It's going to be building, and it should be able to reach all of that clay. I have some clay over here as well that we could move it to in the future if things run. But things are underway. It seems like the town is coming along. Now it's very haphazard. I don't know if I should be building more shelters at this stage. If that would make things happier. Homeless, 3 of them are homeless. Okay, so we do indeed have quite a few homeless people. So we should probably be improving that. We'll just get some shelters out here. The thing is, I don't really want to impede the ability to get around in my city. I don't know how common that's going to be or how much of an issue that's going to be. But we'll just go ahead and place a couple more. 1, 2, 3. That should be enough for now. What does this actually cost me? That is the struggle. So shelters cost just wood, which we have a ton of, so that's completely fine. And we did unlock a few other things here. We have an encampment with survivors in the area, so we can send to the Citadel or welcome new people. My issue is currently that it doesn't seem like we have quite enough people cutting wood. Builders, free workers. So we do have some free workers there. What we probably should do is start to move a few of these things since it's free. Move them into areas that they can be more useful. More useful might be the wrong word. But that they will be easier to produce in. We'll just kind of continue to cut some woods down here. And let's see how far. Okay, so that wouldn't continue to be warm. So the curiosity is, will we then end up cold? Yep, let's just take the eggs here. I wanted a beaver. Stone cutters. Let's put 2 humans to work. Put an extra beaver here. Let's put an extra human here, just so we're keeping everybody pseudo busy. I'm not doing anything with the lizards right now. It doesn't look like there's a good place for them. So I'm worried that I'm going to be making all these people cold, but my reputations did go up on all of this. So let's just try to get a little bit more room for myself and clear these trees here. We're not really close to another glade, so I feel like what we're doing is we're just trying to make space. We're just trying to make this less cluttered. And we'll kind of do the same thing over here, but we will start working towards one of these glades. Right now, I think this is the right. Too soon for dangerous glades. Okay, so let's not do that then. Wipe that back out. We'll put this back on here. There's not another glade over there. And so, since it's too soon for a dangerous glade, what we're going to need to do is again, continuing to just kind of clear out around here, open us up with some space. Let's just do that. Follow my orders. Boom. Okay, so we're being a little too slow to do some of those things. We now need to build a harvester's camp, an advanced camp, gather large and giant resource nodes in addition to small ones, and collect plant fibers or reeds. I don't see any of that on my map unless these things count. This is common food. A forager's camp can obtain it, so I can still build that and it would be fine. The small encampment being idle is odd. Not odd, but I think we're going to take the new people even though our lizards are getting less happy. So we'll just assign a worker to doing that. We only have one free worker at the moment, so that probably is the appropriate choice. Assign workers to proceed, okay. So we'll send a human out there. We'll investigate that. We're going at double speed, so it's very possible that I should be slowing that down, since I don't really know what I'm doing. But we'll go ahead and just kind of continue to go for now. We'll back it to 1.5 speed. I like the game to advance, and hopefully for you all to be able to see a fair amount of what's going on here. I don't really have a whole lot of strategy going on yet. Choose a cornerstone. We have additional, like, permanent things, it looks like. We can get plant fiber or... So, plant fiber, I believe... So one of them is food. Plant fiber is to do what with? Does it tell me? Is it a building material that I'm aware of? It is a burning material. It's for crafting. It seems like food is more important, so let's choose the food cornerstone. Pick that. And then let's just continue to let them work. Let's see what logistics are over here. Actually, we probably should have read that before we closed it, but we're going to go with Harvester's Camp after all. Those are plant fibers. Let's get a Harvester's Camp out here. And then let's just generate another shelter. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7 homeless. So if we were to build 2 more homes, we would have 6 of them. We would have 1 more person homeless. Not ideal. Clearly don't want homeless people. But we can make it work. Stonecutter's Camp can still gather. This is very quickly getting to the point it won't be able to. Let's go ahead and just push it into the woods here. Do we have any idle workers? We got more humans. Just working on my humans quite a bit here. Put a beaver there. Better at it anyway. I'm not doing anything with the lizards. I haven't seen anything that it really seemed like they were specifically talented in. Nothing that they're particularly bad at either, but nothing that they are just amazing at. We can run through housing very quickly, it seems. So we're kind of running this stuff. I'll actually move that back one if I can. Yep, it looks like we can still move between. That's what we care about. We don't want to have any issues there. We have more newcomers coming. Lizards and beavers, humans and beavers. Humans and beavers it is. We can deliver that here. We're getting close to this last part, it looks like. I'm assuming this is winning the kind of tutorial phase. We can do some building blocks here. Place planks in the crude workstation. Bricks and fabric. Okay. We're going to get a crude workstation here. We're going to build that workstation. Our first one. And let's actually see if we can get some beavers in that as well. We just kind of continue to chug along here. Cutting down more trees. Creating a little bit more space. Getting the stone. Getting all of this food. We need people for the workstation. So we'll put a beaver in there, as well as a human. And then it looks kind of like it's just going to produce any and all of these things. We need planks, bricks, and fabric. So what would I be building? Pipes. I wouldn't need pipes. And it's no longer raining. And it looks like we're kind of going up on virtually everything. The only thing we're not going up on is building materials, which we should start doing once we have the workstation up and going. Looks like we're getting a little faster at cutting down things. We didn't use that encampment, we just the people from it. And we've maintained an okay reputation. These have fallen quite a bit over time and then come back to me. It's interesting how you have to kind of keep moving your woodcutters camps and things of that nature throughout the game. I'm not really used to that as a common occurrence in games. Usually you've got them placed and then they're just kind of happy. Give them plenty to do there. You'll move this as well. Got a little bit of overlap up at the top. Oh, interesting. We can rotate the camera view, which I did not know. So we're learning a little bit as we go here. We'll focus on the overlap between the two and have them just... I like symmetry. Symmetry is good for me. Alright, we're just getting those built. Just takes some time. We've got a little bit of downtime going on here. We've got a little bit of slowness going on here. But it has always been throwing something at me for me to do, for me to think about, for me to move forward on. We've hit 30 minutes though, so let's go ahead and hit kind of the pause button. Let's zoom in on all these lizards just chilling here by the fire because I haven't told them to do anything. And we will stop and give you some final thoughts. Alright. So, final thoughts here from our first look. I was engaged the entire time. The cutscenes and everything established just a little bit of story, but not a lot. They didn't overstay their welcome, but it also didn't necessarily give me much from a story perspective. So all I really know is that I am trying to inhabit a difficultly uninhabitable world, but that's all I really have here. It's been introducing mechanics to me relatively quickly in the form of new buildings, in the form of maintaining whether I have enough housing for people, how happy they are, and what I have them doing. And we've got a little bit of a mechanic of keeping them warm here as well as this whole area starts to kind of expand. So I've found all of that to be pretty interesting. I will say that so far, nothing has been particularly dangerous yet. So, the premise of the game is to survive the coming storm. Nothing has been particularly dangerous outside of the fact that I've been rained on quite a bit. And as you can see, I am increasing in fuel, increasing in crafting, increasing in virtually everything at the moment. So it's all going quite positively. That being said, it's a tutorial, so of course it was going to go pretty positively. So like I said, overall, I think all the mechanics are good. They're interesting. They kept me engaged throughout the entire time. I really love that there is a speed up or slow down button, so I can either pause, play at normal speed, or go all the way to 3 times the overall speed. It does monitor when there's going to be storms, so I would assume the storms will lower your happiness if you're not protected by the warmth, the fire, things of that nature. I like that you can focus on what trees you want, so you can either go straight towards clearings, or you can just kind of be aesthetic with it, getting wood, getting resources from where you'd like it. I liked that the glades seem to have kind of random fun little events in them that you could learn from, that you could get additional foodstuffs. Now, right now, the foodstuffs being different didn't really matter, just having food mattered. So it wasn't that I could focus on everything, but I'm sure that'll come into play long term. The downside was, even though I did a whole lot during the entire first 30 minutes, I didn't really have a good idea of what the long-term strategy was, what I might be doing well and what I might be doing poorly, as I was just kind of checking off the box for a tutorial. So not a bad thing, but just starting a little slow. The fact that there are speed up controls likely mean that it will be pretty efficient for your time, especially once you get comfortable and familiar with it, unlike some city games where it's going to end up taking a long time to get anything done. As long as you're quick with your actions, as long as you're playing, you should be able to pause, unpause, and speed up as needed to advance the game, and not ever feel like you're having to pull yourself out of the action or unable to be doing something, just waiting on something to occur. So I think all of that is really nice, really good. I think the general graphics are pretty solid here. You can make a fairly pretty looking town. All these buildings and things are unique and interesting, though I don't know how the entrances and exits and things of that nature really function, as they didn't seem to have any effect at all here on me today. Those are my first thoughts for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and drop a like, a subscription, give me comments, feedback on what I'm doing well, what I'm doing poorly. But until my next video, have a good time gaming.